Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope that wherever you are, you're doing well. If this is your first time visiting with us, I want to welcome you and I hope you'll come back and see us again. If you hear noises in the background, I want you to know that we're having a wet, windy, blustery, stormy day, and that's what the noise is all about. And on top of that, I don't have the best lighting, but I try and work with what I have. Last week I did not post a video because I was not in a good place emotionally. A couple weeks ago, me and my husband had to euthanize one of our kitty cats. We had him for many years. He brought us many years of happiness and joy, but he developed health issues with complications toward the end. The vet told us he had a tumor in his stomach, and because of his advanced age, the prognosis was not good. And even though we wanted to keep him for many more years, we knew that he was suffering and we had to do the right thing by him and bring him peace. But his peace came at a steep price for us because it left us with a broken heart and many shed tears. We still have one kitty cat left. She's the oldest. She's been with us maybe 16 years. And she also came to us as a tiny stray. She has her own health problems, kidney disease, but because we maintain her on a special diet, her numbers, kidney numbers, have been able to be maintained at a good level, so that's good. And we just ask God to please let us have her for a few more years because we're not ready to go down that road all over again. Now, I have had people say to me in the past, because we've done this before, we've had other kitty cats, and people have said to me in the past, why are you crying over a cat? Because they don't understand. Those of us that are animal lovers, I'm sure some of you are, will understand what I'm saying. Our pets, dogs, cats, they're not just animals like some people might see them. They are like our children. We love them that way. And when they pass away, they leave us with a broken heart and many tears. But I decided, despite everything, the bad weather, the noise in the background, my bad lighting, I was going to post a video today. And I'm sharing a story with you that has a moral at the end. Now, this is the story about an old woman who lived in a tiny village many years ago. Every day she would walk down to the river to get water in 2 pails that she had. One of the pails was newer, one of them was rusty, old, and had holes in it. And she used to carry the pails on a stick on her back. And when she would get home, the rusty old pail was always half full. And one day the old bucket was feeling very bad, and the woman asked why. And he said, I'm sorry that I have not been very useful to you. I have a lot of imperfections. Every time we get home, my bucket is half empty, and that makes me feel bad. And the woman said to him, don't feel bad. She said, look at the path that we take every year. And she said, on one side of it, it's dry, nothing has grown there. But on the side where you hang are beautiful flowers that you have helped water all of these years. And sometimes I even cut flowers and put them in vases in my house. So you have brought me a lot of joy and happiness with these flowers. And the old bucket was surprised because he just saw his flaws. He couldn't understand how his flaws could possibly be a blessing to somebody, but he was wrong. And I guess the moral of the story is that a lot of us, just like that old bucket, only see our imperfections, our flaws. We might feel like we're useless. We're not being useful. We're inefficient. And how could our flaws possibly be a blessing to somebody, right? But just like the old bucket, we are wrong, because you never know how your perceived imperfections might be a blessing to somebody. Keep that in mind. I think it's gonna thunder. I just saw the flash. So keep that in mind, what I just said to you. And I want to share another little story that kind of goes with the whole thing. Now, many years ago, when I started my nonprofit, I've been doing not nonprofit, I'm sorry. I'm getting tongue-tied. My nonprofit is only 10 years old. When I started doing homeless ministry, that's what I should have said, about 25 years ago, I didn't have a lot of resources or funds, but I had the desire to help the homeless because it's something God had put in my heart to do. And I started making peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, taking them out to the street and handing them out to the individuals. And my friends, some of them at the time who knew this is what I did, they would say things to me like, "Can't you take them something better than peanut butter and jelly sandwiches?" And those words were hurtful to me because they were diminishing what I was doing, putting down my sandwiches like they weren't good enough. But I realized that I couldn't let those words stop me from doing what I was doing. And one day, a young man came to me after I had given him a sandwich. And he said to me, "Miss Grace, thank you for the sandwich you gave me. I was reminded of my mother. She used to make them for me when I was a little boy, and she's not with me anymore. And your sandwich brought that memory back to me. So thank you." And there were other homeless individuals that would also come to me and say, "Thank you for the sandwich. I love peanut butter and jelly sandwiches." So even though my friends thought my little nothing sandwiches were insignificant, they were loved by the homeless. So keep that in mind, what I just said. Because sometimes people might say things to us that are hurtful, or we ourselves might see ourselves as being imperfect. We haven't accomplished much. We're not very useful to anyone. Just remember, your perceived imperfections may be a blessing to somebody else, just like that old rusty bucket that didn't see the flowers growing on the side of the path. And he helped water them all of those years. I hope you enjoyed this video and it gave you something to think about. I hope that you have a beautiful and blessed day. Do come back and visit us again. And don't ever forget that God loves you very, very much. And in God's eyes, you are not imperfect. You are beautifully made. Okay? Anyway, it's coming down pretty hard. Bye-bye, sweetie. But come back.